Good morning, or whatever it is, wherever you are. So we're still building a new data cache. I guess we're going to have to build. I'm not sure that directory is completely there yet. We can start getting things a little bit set up. Get an initial build done at least. So I'm trying to remember. Guess we're going to want that over there too. Oh, I had that open earlier. Need to keep an eye on that. All right, so as we load in all the files. I could probably at least type this out. Copy onelife.exe. Build Windows OneLife 193. So that'll be ready to go, and this will. There we go. A little bit more manageable. Living life. Bug location. You failed trunk. Catch all update is the one we were seeing. Existing not equal to null. And this is after a series of else's. Responsible player ID. Get live object. Pending receivement. Someone else is responsible for this change to us. Likely we're a baby. Still in the middle of a local walk with pending message that will play after the walk. To fear. Wow, it's interesting. I guess because people could be sending orders while they're still walking. Or pending to be held. Pending messages to play at the end of their movement. Sees that movement has already ended. Played later. Also, never the adult's messages are played back. Oof. Held by an adult who's pending messages to play. Non-forced update about other players. Alright, so there's already has pending about other players. So this is a forced update about another player? Is that right? I'm going to move truncation. So the cases we're handling here are a whole bunch of held by adult type stuff. And it's like it was not pending message. Not any kind of held by adult. Else if response likely we're a baby. Else if existing not equal to null. So it's a this is a forced update about another player. I guess I should make sure which. Let's patch them on before I change anything. Not out of range anymore. Current speed equals 0. Change our destination. So does this mean new clothing? Has something been removed? This thing, clothing. If it's RID. Okay, well that's an out of range before. Bug location is 13456. Held content. Oh yeah, we're a fair ways away from there. There's a lot of stuff going on down here. So I guess then the question is, how many places can affect our location? Well, it's the sound effect stuff. Holding something new. Holding changed. Yeah, a lot of this is sound tracking. Baby dropped. Oh, this includes done moving and forced. Although this includes a path clear. But this is a forced up, oh, because it's done moving and forced. Clothing stuff. All right, and the range we're concerned about is to about 12, 4, 10, 13. So about 1,000 lines. Current speed can happen at done moving and forced. I don't think Bates baby dropped. At least not all baby dropped. All right, this is done. Okay, we're on debugging info. And then this is pretty much the top. Oop. So we've got done moving and forced, we've got baby dropped, and existing out of range. I think I might be at the point where trying to a locally controlled object, unless the server tells us. Where is done moving? Oh, done moving is a... Done moving comes from the server. But that would also be a forced update. Uh, 13.5, no. We have done moving and forced. We have baby dropped, and then we have out of range. So a simple update, well, because this will overwrite that. If we just have it here. Oop. So we want to say player update out of range. We don't think it's baby dropped as much, but it's a case we have to consider. And this considers clearing a path, which means we won't have a final path. So actually that's not... Yeah, we don't think it's baby dropped, so that's probably... Existing object was out of range when we get a player update. Which means well... This is their last known position. Don't draw now. Initially false. Out of range true. Oh, that's a message type. So this starts getting into some server stuff. When do we send a player move message? Oh. Could that perhaps be... That'll help a little bit. Protocol. Apparently it doesn't have a space. Protocol. Maybe he actually has a constant for it. No. That would be if it was an enum. Is sending messages not actually in the server? Linear DB. Oh, wait. Get moves message from list. Message buffer. Relative pause. Get moves message. I guess the penned... I know, you call that. Which means get moves message, no matching moves. Which means we could also get it from get moves message. Next player, sock send. Min update dist less than max dist. Move list size greater than 0. Next player connected. Change position. Next player. Next player, sock send out of range. I'm not entirely sure of the context of this. Middle distance player IDs. Min update dist. Some updates close enough. Compose player update message. New updates. Everyone gets information about emotes. Now healed players. Dying players. Moves in progress on this chunk. Player moves before they're on our chunk. One. Start outside of our 32 radius, finishing inside the new chunk. Dates about non-held babies. So is this iterating over players to send or players who did stuff? Everybody gets all grave move messages. This player has first message ready for updates moves. They learned about a monument from their mother. Okay, so they're iterating over the player. To receive messages. Moving out about the chunk, send update. Held babies. Non-held babies. New map chunk and player updates for players in the new chunk. New updates. Get update record. Get update line from record. Get update record. Wait, so where do you clear this? Delete format string. Simple vector. Maybe it's a queue? Or that getting an element removes it? So all I see is removing the update string. Don't know. There's a format string. I forgot to notice where this was. So we also have get moves message. Next player birth pause. Okay, so that's used for a something with birth pause. And that is used there and close moves. Brand new. Oh, maybe updates. Gets reinitialized every loop. You move pause. Move pause dot size. So we've already determined Greater than max distance continue. Close moves. Wait, next player birth pause. Oh, right. So actually birth pause doesn't necessarily mean anything because that has to be changing it to relative coordinates. So that is a message, a move that was deemed to be close enough. Move list. Move pause. Where are we getting moves list from? Format string. Get move records. Change vector. Num players. If it's not equal, we get a change vector. Wait, in change vector. Get move record. Destroyed by color. This is for a particular player. New moves only. Oh, and that formats it. What's a change position? It's not defined here, apparently. Oh. Start update global. Okay. So that's a list of all the players who are moving, and then we iterate through all the players. Is that right? Is it sending that every... cycle? It wouldn't make sense to send it every cycle. We only get move messages about close moves. Got part of this frame. It seems like what's P? Is change position from the last update position sent? No, that's this, the player we're current processing. Our destination position this is saying if it is min update dist equals 64. Update or min update dist. If we ever get below max dist break, and then if we're less than max dist, then if any move is less than max dist, then we recalculate this for every I guess he doesn't want to create data structures if everything is off screen. Okay, so moves I think are based on any difference in player location. Would that mean we'd send updates like every frame? Because if we do send it, then it's a complete move set. PU line, PU line. Ignoring client message because we're waiting for a force ACK message for a force PU. Send starting message. So 12984. Ooh, okay, so there's two places that we do. Several places that we do player update messages. Okay, from the top. We do 12984. Not first message sent. So this is their initial player update, which I don't think is going to be a big issue. Chunk player updates. This is, we moved on to a new chunk. Wait. Oh, the temp stuff. Make a message. Delete the message. Can a player update be about multiple players? Maybe it can. It's all the players in the chunk. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of visibility into update characters, update message length. So what is this? General updates? Some updates are close enough. Compose player message update for this player. So they are very independent processes. I guess I was trying to figure out. And what is our distance? Change position. New update pause. So both moves and players have a certain XY that's used to determine if they're close enough. So when we see the bug on a client, it's because there was outstanding moves that ended up someplace else. So they've got a path. What are the coordinates used for new update pause in a player update? So it's player start. Whereas if we are doing player moves, where is... What are we using? Just straight up send message to player. Close moves comes from move pause. Which is get move records. Change vector. Get move record. In change vector. Start string. In player dest. So we use destination position to determine if we send the moves, and player start position to determine if we send the player update. And what we've caught is kind of an off by 1. So it's not drastically different. So I guess what we want is better information about what this looks like. Well, player update out of range. What was out of range? Means it's implicitly forced. Wait. This update is forced, but it says done moving. Nor do we force update remote players to want to glitch with their moves. Now this is a done moving for each character. We receive a player update, it's because their start position was within range. The last move update we would have seen would have been in their desk position. I guess what we really want to just know is, like, what is the state of this character when this happens? But to do that, I'm going to need to have something like some sort of buffer I can use for this. Yeah, current pause. Wait. No. Oh, this sets their current and destination position. And what I've never been able to completely determine is if they've still got a path, will their current speed go back up? You know what? You're forcing current pause. Which means that we're not going to worry about a path anyway. It was, I know Forrest ran across. No, because it was Forrest and Dunn. Oh, I just don't see the thing we're looking for. Yep, and there's that. And in this case, can't even exist. And it's only going to be a bug in that case. But because we've set this position and this position, path doesn't matter. So that might be it, but we're going to have to test that in the wild before we can actually see anything going on. Alright, so just a quick check. Build Windows. We want to get all of our testing settings. Did I copy the entire folder? And then we should be done with you. Oh man, this, I don't know. I guess there's an update process I have to run that I'm not running because this object keeps turning into a random thing every time. Oh, that's right. I want to turn off all the paths for this stuff because this was like tacos last time. So apparently there's some update script you're supposed to run every time you reuse your database. So as long as we're testing stuff, we can fix that. Oh man, that was some found code. It had to do with display car? Yeah. So what I want to do is pretty much just draw less than path length. And is there some sort of or maybe this would be under scripts. There's convert DB, but I think this is for like different versions of the database. Force shutdown. Remote server. Code update. Zero, keep server running. Settings, shutdown mode. Remote server code update custom post. Certain database operations. Code version number, make. Well, this is a code update. This is more of a data update. Code update, schedule data update. Update server code. Update server settings. I might have to post in the custom running thread. Alright, so that, if there's drift, we should hopefully see, there'll be less noise so we can see that those things are different. But we don't really see it easily with just one or even two characters. Although we think it does have something to do with going in or out of update zone. Okay, I got lots of boars over there. Now, it might have to be a moving player to trigger it. So this is tweaking that and adding... Oh, did I not? Okay, so that is... Oh, yeah, the... baby dropped could theoretically do it. Okay, so that's our bug patch. So the other thing we've been poking at, that might be easier to see. Where was this code? All right, we got our time in, and this was down around 8,000 at the time these patches were exported. 8,000 to 8,700. Get trans hintable, get num hints. So I need to dig into this process. and try and figure out why we can't get some of the milkweed transitions. All right, living life, get trans hintable is just for a trans record. It's used down here to filter. Get all uses, heap sort. Unfiltered and filtered. Oh, for that's for applying the filter. So I want a place where we have a bunch of trans records. And I'm probably going to want, like, get all uses object ID. But is this only... Maybe get all uses? Ooh. Alright. Actually, this is a good time to take a break. I'm going to be back in a few minutes. Ammonium factory. Okay, so that's still having issues. Man, the rover! Just bloop, 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 bloop. Actually, you know what? I thought I was able to... No, I guess I gotta have a thing that's appearing. Anyway. Oh! That counted as... Are you kidding me? That counted as... Let's see if I can make these... switch back to normal mode. Okay, I don't have a lot of control over it, but...
But I like... I'm the kind of person who likes to max out stats. Okay, so... I must not assigned that one before, and this I messed up on. Okay, oh, we're not at full speed. There we go.
Okay. But there is another act. Huh? Well, that was a successful run, I guess.
Alright, welcome back. So actually, I think this is... It's when there's a filter string that we're actually searching objects. So we have hits. Last hint filter string. Oops. Object bank and object pickable. Wait, that's a return and an H file? Well, it's editor stuff, apparently. Generated destroyed by null if not found. Okay, that's the special case for clearing it. Tree.count matches. Wait, what is tree? So he's pre-calculated the crafting tree? Ooh. I wonder if these are failing to do some sort of make new object searchable. Add object. Re-add object. Maybe that's an editor function. String tree. That's a minor gem. Value mark. Hash table. Entry node. Value holder. No, because there's string value in hash table. So it's a string keyed hash, I think. Alright, special case. Count matches. I guess I still need the tree for that. Get matches. Oh, because this is only what's visible? So search objects is only going to get the matching objects. These are the direct hits. the whole words, not partial words. Shallowest matching objects. I wonder if shallowest is an issue. Get object depth. Shallowest depth. Hit IDs. Exact message uses instead. Ds that you used to make. Okay, precursors. I think this is where it's interesting. Go limited number of steps back. Don't care about things before our object. Search produces. Producing trans not equal to null. Result in the header precursor. And I just want to do a tree. Most important result. Oh, that could actually get into some trouble, couldn't it? Target not equal to new target, and there's a target, and actor not equal to new actor. Both actor, we need to decide which is the most important result to hint. So that could actually be, so they're both different, only this is different, only this is different. Don't show nothing as a result. So this kind of gets into the, oh. Yeah, for milkweed stock, we're changing the target and the actor. Something new ends in your hand. That's more important. That covers milkweed stock. Doesn't use as an ingredient. I was hoping I could get like a crafting tree to dump out. But he's only concerned with filtering based on the target. Num precursors, get element direct. Precursor IDs that are used to make hit objects. Wait, less than 10. I think that's for total hit, so if we just matched way too many things. That's direct hits. Push back the things themselves. Last step equals precursor IDs. Limited number of steps. Well, that doesn't cover... That does not cover... Don't follow back through our object. For one step, that shouldn't matter. Not equal to null. Transdep. It's a category. I guess we're looking for the next pushback, huh? Actor greater than 0. Target greater than 0. So pushback, precursor IDs dot size. So then this is going through the filtered trans. Right. And then going through the precursors to see if anything matches. So at this point, we have a precursor. Well, this is just precursor IDs, isn't it? Well, yeah, I kind of need actual transitions. So we have actor and target. Wait, what about new actor, new target? If you're trying to make a hatchet, it will show you can use this thing to make a hatchet. That's actor. Well, the stuff you're holding is actor target. Oh, we're looking at stuff that does search produces not consider that? Yeah. What does that matter? Transition bank. Okay, yeah, transition bank, not object bank. Search within categories. Well, that's going to complicate things a little bit. init transition bank start. Editor. Auto-generate for all abstract category transitions in game. Ooh, you know, I've been hearing some stuff about that. I've not really been paying attention because I'm not in the market for a phone right now. So I know that there's been a lot of noise about it. I think there's been some recommendations about it. I don't think they've actually been banned. But like I said, I haven't really been paying attention to it. I'm sure that there are better news sources for that. All right, transition bank. Search produces. Num to skip, num to get, out result, num remaining. So we think this is going to be true. So it's going to be search. In map to search. Wait, where is it doing? In map to search, in ID. Num records. Oh, it just looks up the transitions for it. And that's going through that list. I'm just getting those. There's no fancy logic here. Okay, producing trans. We do have a limit. Prod trans not equal to null. But this is not considering new actor, new target. I guess if we're looking at things we want to filter in our list, sure. So that's a map. Oh, we're assuming the map has both transitions in it? In map to search. Produces map. Get all produces. New produces map. Add trans. New produces map. Vote copy constructors. New map size +1. Where is add trans? The bunch of parameters. Okay, and then we go down here. So make sure it's expanded. Get trans record. Uses map in actor in target. Produces map new actor and new target. So that should have both of them in it. So this is trans produces. So we are initializing this with our hits. So we would expect that to have a hit for that. All right, so if not equal to null. What was it? Mark A, and then we can go back to, yeah, okay. And then I need to refresh myself on, what did I call that? Showing debug grid, maybe that, well, no, not necessarily. Okay, there is some distant drawing. What was the other thing I was drawing? I'm not sure I'm doing sprintf there. It's hit. That's a message. So auto sprintf, delete. Main font drawstring. This is going to be more of a logging thing. So we want to have setups can maybe possibly do a graph viz off of this. So this is specifically something that produces old step ID. Although the plus nature of this is going to make this a little bit awkward. So we're going to have an actor and a target. I can probably look at some of my, that was through a Ruby gem, which handled more of it. Family trees output. Okay, we are generating nodes with other names and then saying label is blah, blah, blah. And then doing label to label. But we've got IDs, so we are going to want labels for that, though. But node to node, Well, yeah, 2 nodes going into a place. Could get a little confusing with multiple ways to get there. Okay, that's going to be the result, which is the only one we're concerned about right now. You know, actually, we've already got if actor greater than 0, if target greater than 0. So this is going to be actor. And we need to delete transline and was it app log? I should probably even up another file, but... And that is minor gems. Log.h provides critical error, error warning, info, detail, trace. What's the logger name? Log string v. I guess we're pulling out different sources. All right, so it's app log. App log. Oh, I can just do infof. It is set up to streamline that. Now. Ooh, I might have to pull up the object ID to... What? Old step ID. Old step ID. Oh, and then we stopped using that. I might have to load up the object to get its name. And then one life build Windows. Yep. Hey, here's Tor. How's it going? Load file. All right, so nothing yet. Nothing yet. The regular game is yes. I am just running a private server to try and figure some stuff out. So if we do milkweed stock, like some of these transitions are not, maybe because there was no matches. So there's one. That seems to not be working. I don't know offhand. I'd have to look at some of the networking code to see what kind of connection it's making. And that might actually be in minor gems. Oh, so there's socket server, socket test, it's a socket UDP. What's our server using? How about server, not server CPP. No, figure out. Yeah, that's a hairy. I swear there was a server.cpp. Oh, I did not get to game source or to server. Which one is it using? Well, socket server and socket poll. Fresh connection. Socket sock. Well, that's the structure. InSock receive. Heap corruption. It's just a socket. New socket server port. That would probably be socket server. Socket server 132 presently. Yeah, I'd have to look up what these constants mean. F inet, inet or any. Now it is asking socket connections, which would normally be a TCP thing. Well, this is not my code. 1R1 Life is open source, public domain. So this is Jason Rohr's game library. I haven't really gotten into the network side of things. But because they're talking about connections, that's looking like a TCP connection rather than a UDP connection. Or because UDP is connectionless. I guess you'd still listen on that. So then maybe you'd be interested in what. But I think there was a specific thing where you would kill yourself by closing the connection. So yeah. So if it's connection, it's TCP. Anyway. Ew, oh, too much. Game source. So Y is, let's try, can we find something? How about short? So that is actually relevant. Yeah, we're not printing out anything here. So I may have found the wrong bit of code. Oh, or maybe info isn't on. Oh, it's also, oh, it only does act. I've only done actor so far, but info. I think that there's a, well, we just had app log up. A level, which might turn on a bunch of his stuff, so just make this warning. Oh, I'm a little bit late to clear my log, but oh well. I don't know. I'd have to go look at the graphics subsystem for that to see what he's using. I mean, it might be, since it is cross-platform, it would kind of make sense if. Wow, a lot of 3333s. Oh, that must be the bare hand. Oh, yep, okay, yep. Oh, yeah, I remember seeing STL. I'll just play a lot more with the graphics stuff. That's probably, huh. Interesting that there's so many. Well, not stick to stick, I guess. Okay, but in order to make that intelligible, we're going to have to start putting out labels. And this is actually going to be really terrible for converting to a file later. I'm going to still do some early work here. So my example of GraphViz file, just want a semicolon. So I probably want to not show item to item. I mean, technically that's leaving stuff out, but I don't think that's going to be terribly useful. Oh, I was printing. Oh, that's okay. Never mind. I was just being lazy. Okay, so the other thing we need, I need to figure out how to get the names for these things. That's probably, we've got IDs. Transition bank is probably just ID to ID. Act int. Yeah, so I have to figure out how to get an object. Object record. That description. And then, let's see, I guess when we're drawing the transition hints, we'd have to have the name. Get display object description, which is apparently a copy of it. Making reason string. Alright, so we want to say that, oh, I might end up duplicating these things. I don't think will be much of a problem. So we want to say that %d for the actor is a label equals %s. Of string. And we have to delete that one and get the other, no. Delete that one. Oh, old object we only need to do once. So that we can pull up to wherever we do this. Oh, and didn't do that properly. This needs to be actor, and then this will need to be target. Oh, and I probably want to reset the log. I'm not sure I can do that right now. Well, I just do want this to keep it from making a actual transition. So if we're trying to do milkweed stock on that, there was definitely a little hitch there. All right, we seem to have confused that. Let's see if we've completely confused it. Nope. Okay, milkweed stock, milkweed, flowering milkweed. Well, that's probably our goal object. So 50 to 57. So maybe it was milkweed seed. But yeah, this seems to be a bunch of the relevant stuff. No. Yeah, D, right, re-edit, milk, weed, seed, not relevant. Yeah, apparently I have to, oh, edit bang, okay. Milkweed seed, milkweed debris goes to a milkweed seed. Although it was specifically fruiting milkweed that was having the trouble. Alright, so now I need to see about getting this properly... I would like to get this properly framed. We run across milkweed several times, apparently. And then I'm going to have to see about doing my own custom logs to have the junk in there. If we wait this out, we can. Alright, so it is Write bang, edit bang. It's not even trying. So it's some earlier condition is messing it up on this one, yeah. Some earlier precondition is failing on this. So that one is not a tree issue. We are not getting here. Would have done at least this if we'd gotten past here. Limited number of steps back. Old last step. Don't follow precursor chains back through our object. Don't have things lead to our filter object. So what are we looking at here? Old last step, go through there. What is in object ID here? Is that the thing we're trying to make? Don't count the object itself as a hit. The presentation need to be formatted. Down here, cutting off precursor self. Wait a minute, this is, no, this is not below there. Okay, and that's way down there. Get all uses. Get num hints. It also corrects the hints. Any other, if it's same filter. Last hint sorted source ID. Need to regenerate lists. Let's see if that hits anything. So we've got log. Okay. Load file. Oh, that wasn't the fruiting though. That's fruiting. Oh. It doesn't auto-update once you force update. Okay. Is there any handy food? I mean, we could just reset you, but... So we go through milkweed debris to milkweed seed, milkweed debris to fruiting milkweed. And you also go to milkweed debris. And yet you say fruiting milkweed not relevant. So we're getting some transitions here. And yet, so this might be, because this is not a case of the, well, the planting a milkweed seed might be more interesting. But we are clearly getting, well, okay. Actor greater than 0. Continue, continue. Oh, this is just the pre-check. Okay. So this is good for printing this stuff out, but it's not telling me if we're actually... Wait. Produce trans not equal to null. So this is... Wait, num results. Produce trans, actor target. Oh. So we're considering specifically shallowest trans index. But to get a not relevant... Not equal to -1. Okay. So, are we hitting here? And I'm kind of interested in the actor target in that case. Well, I guess we all... Oh, yeah, we need that, and we need... depth. And old step depth to really be able to evaluate what's going on with this. Assuming this is it. Clear the log. Oop, already built it. All right, so we're really interested in fruiting milkweed. Oh, right, because we didn't filter. Milkweed. Forget that gets lost when you reset. Okay, milkweed seed. Shallowest trans 0, depth 3, old 4. So that is not equal to -1. Depth is less than old step depth. So we're going to put something in there. Depth 2, old 3. Oh, and then we do cut off a precursor there. For something. Maybe the milkweed that transmissions back to that? Alright, so this case doesn't seem to be cutting us out. Get element index actor. Oh, only push it on there once. So let us grab this for what it actually is considering as a precursor. No, precursor. Okay, reset this, rebuild it, clear the log. We have to do milkweed seed from a fruiting milkweed. So we're doing 52 to 55, 55 to 220. 55 is milkweed debris to milkweed seed. And fruiting milkweed to milkweed debris. So why are we saying not relevant? Don't show the result in a hit or a precursor of a hit if the trans doesn't display that hit as a result. Oh. When shown to user. This is me trying to figure out why certain transitions are not shown as relevant. So I would need to get milkweed debris. It shows it as a result. We have to see if this is what's kicking us out. I'm trying to figure out why that filter hint does not work properly. Get trans most important result. And this is for... matches filter true, break. But that's for this loop. Matches filter equals false. We do a bunch of stuff. If not matches filter, delete element I. If matches filter equals false, hit IDs. Oh, so this is for each hit. That result in a hit. Result of trans. Removing, let's see, so this is actor target. There's a bunch of stuff. Almost dead anyway. Removing trans, result of trans. ID is the hit. It's not the actor or the target. Result of trans. The actor and the target are not the ID. The result of the trans matches filter equals false. We do a bunch of stuff. You make ID, not just say use it. Use one of our main ingredients as a hits ingredient true. What is? Just leave it empty. Show all trans instead. Filtered trans size. Filtered trans delete element. So ultimately, that's what we care about. I might want to get back into the Y's later. But that's just an I. But T is get element direct I. Removing T actor, T target. Oh, no, not you yet. Rebuild first. Clear the log. Am I getting hungry? All right. Milkweed seed. Precursor. Oh, removing. Let's see. We are concerned about the next hint would be fruiting milkweed 55 to 220. Which it doesn't seem to be... Oh, that's that. Now we want... fruiting milkweed to milkweed debris. 55. Fruiting milkweed, 52 to 55. Oh, but as a transition, that is the automatic, that's bare hand, I think. So are we running this once to count it, and then... Because we're removing different things here. This seems like maybe... Huh. Maybe that was the branch? Why did we remove those? Not matches filter. Matches, oh, there is a second way we can get it here. So we have to consider that it will pass. So we should only have one hit object. It's not an actor, it's not a target. And the result of the trans is that thing. I don't think that will be a problem. And yet, yeah, because we're not doing a milkweed seed directly. So it's going to be false. So it's going to go through precursors. ID is precursor, not just if they use it. Doesn't use one of our main hits as an ingredient. Object target, get element direct. Not hits is ingredient. If actor equals hit ID, target equals hit ID. Oh, this one, yeah, I need to print out the entire thing here. Because this might be some stuff with the other milkweed stalks. Clear the log. Milkweed seed. Okay. Now that tells me that there's something going to go on. That says fruiting milkweed not relevant. So we are interested in getting from fruiting milkweed to milkweed debris, 5255. Yep, there's a 5255. 57 must be the milkweed stalk. So that's actor, target, actor, target. Oh. Is that falling afoul of most important transition? Because it gives us a milkweed stalk in the process of getting there. Okay, trans. So we're, oh, this is going to be a per trans. Most important result. I guess we do want that. Recompile. It's not the only time I want to clear the log, but build Windows one life log.txt. Oh. How about echo? There we go. And we're just about dead. Yep, there's a fruity. Oh, we have to do milkweed seed. Oh, I messed something up here. Yeah, we need to, actually print that value out. Okay, and we're a new person. Where was my little milkweed patch? There's a couple of them. Oh, I didn't set a filter. No, nothing's fruiting. There we go. Most important of 52. The milkweed stock. Okay, so that explains this one. It might explain some other things. That actually makes me kind of want to not consider... Can we do something other than just removing that whole most important transition thing? Because it directly produces a precursor, or rather, the other side of it is a precursor to the item we want, that result in a hit or a precursor of a hit if the trans doesn't display. Yes, but sometimes it just doesn't display it. So everything involving result of trans is subject here. But that, like, completely removes the whole point of most important. So this is direct hits, which that much seems to be working. Because for the final thing, it is the most important. This is for precursors, if they actually make ID, not just if they use it. You know what, for precursors, well, I guess there could be some weird loops here where you sew something and that results in a needle, which you need. But I mean, like, sewing something goes from thread to needle, and that's a new actor, which is the most important thing anyway. Bone needle produced from stitching shoes, and bone needle is a precursor of bellows. Show the shoe producing when transition when filtering by bellows and holding two rabbit furs. Right. Hmm. I wonder if you've got a similar thing going on. The other one that was weird was you are holding a milkweed seed and you want to know how to get a milkweed and it won't tell you to plant it. And you want to know how to get a milkweed stalk. And milkweed stalk could be that weird transition again. How do we handle... How do we decide that getting a milkweed debris is important? Although that's sort of the side effect of getting a milkweed stalk. Result in a hit for precursor. Trans doesn't display. But that, oh, that's going to show you, and you get a milkweed stalk. I would actually think that the bone needle from stitching shoes would show up as most trans. The way I read that code. Because both things are different. Oh, something new. The trans takes one of the elements to a deeper state. One of the elements to a deeper state. So that would... Yes, a milkweed stalk is something new ends up in your hands. Deeper is going to be a harder one to measure in the bone needle case. I guess thread is deeper than needle, so that makes it less interesting. Oh, I should some my debug code there. So we've got two cases of hand plus fruiting milkweed goes to stalk plus debris. And it is preferring the stalk because that's a new thing in your hand. And the code that's removing this is trying to do needle and thread plus some cut rabbit fur, some anything. Is a needle plus clothing, and it's trying to remove that, or rather it's preferring this. Yeah, because it's probably... So that probably considered a less deep object. So we want this to work so we don't have unnecessary needles showing up. Maybe what it really needs to be is it took you a needle to get to here. So showing that you get a needle from here is the interesting thing. course, it took you a skewer to make a home marker, and getting a skewer from it can be a very interesting transition. And if we force the critical path, we're still going to pick needle. Alright, so for the sake of better understanding this problem, let's go back and... yeah, let's clear the log. Try to take a look at the other one we noticed. Which was, if I want to get a milkweed stalk, milkweed seed not relevant. Deleting. Alright, I need to figure out some IDs here. Milkweed stalk. There's milkweed sprout. Milkweed stalk, milkweed flowering, milkweed fruiting, milkweed sprout. Oh, does the precursor search not go through time transitions? I thought we determined it did. No, because these are time transitions. Why is it not going back before milkweed sprout? But this is just in, well, this is like a two-step thing. So we're getting down to a precursor step. And we're doing it again? Okay, so let's target here. There was something that limited steps. Was there not? Yeah. Alright, we want this to be the last thing we touched. I guess I didn't look what it was actually telling me, did I? Milkweed sprout. No, it stopped at milkweed sprout again. That should be like wet planted. We should be getting to wet planted milkweed. Why are we not getting to wet planted milkweed? So it doesn't seem to be number of steps. Precursor IDs. back through our object. Milkweed stalk. I mean, I guess I could see it being an ingredient in a hoe or something. But where are we actually saying search produces? And for the time being, just want to put some extra data in here. Did we get any results for milkweed stalk? Or for milkweed sprout? And I'm pretty sure we were seeing the transitions between milkweed stalks, so it's like it shouldn't... I think it considers time transitions? Stock, we're holding a seed. Milkweed seed not relevant. Oh, that's a different... Milkweed stalk 3. Milkweed 3. It's not considering the milkweed sprout. Why is that not getting added? Oh. Is that a category of plantable object? Yeah, because precursor is where we actually add it to the list. Is 50 to 57 milkweed to milkweed stalk. That's it? We wanted to find milkweed seed. Did I type stalk by habit? Weed. No, we're trying to make a stalk. We have a seed. Oh, but I didn't actually... Now I erased my log. Trying to make a stalk, we get to milkweed sprout, but only milkweed, I guess because, And why didn't you consider flowering milkweed because that produces it, but only 50 counts as a precursor. I guess, does it only consider things of different depth? Milkweed. Precursors of that is milkweed, sprout, fruiting milkweed, milk. Oh, that's an old transition. But it's not labeling that as a precursor. Why are you not labeling milkweed sprout as a precursor of milkweed? This might be a plant category thing. All right, so consider that. We got a trans. We printed this stuff out. Continue. And then we have to get down here, and we have to match this stuff. Well, let's just go ahead and check this. And I have no idea how categories work. All right, precursor. No, it didn't get thrown out because it was a category. So we're back to this thing. Index, depth, old, shallowest trans index, shallowest trans depth, old step depth. So it can be -1, it can be and trend depth not equal to old step depth. Or greater than. Oh, maybe because this can be got from a natural object, it ends up being shallower? Than all the stuff you'd have to do to plant it. Depth 2, old 0. Actually, it's kind of impressive that, well, that's a 2. Actually, we don't know what we selected here because there's like 3 things. So we don't even know if, yeah, what did, oh, the shallowest, shallowest, shallowest. What did we even pick? Well, there's actor and target. Shallowest trans... Wait, wasn't T the structure? Or just -1 is a starter value, I guess. No, T is an index, okay. It's an object elsewhere. So we want to consider... We go through this loop. Milkweed stock. Okay. Okay, so it did pick milkweed sprout. But that apparently has depth 2. Whereas... this picked a depth 0. I'm not sure exactly what depth from what is. Just that object has a depth. Depth and craftability? Seems like milkweed sprout would have more than 2 steps, but... And that's not relevant to anything, that's just depth. Milkweed sprout is depth 2. You'd think the tilled row would be quite an involved thing itself. If we didn't have this condition, we'd just always put it in. I'm not sure what that is supposed to be accomplishing. I guess you don't want to show things afterwards. Milkweed stock. Where did I go? Alright, milkweed sprout. Oh, it picks all of them. Okay. So that's kind of what some of what that's about. Yeah, I didn't even do it. Because we want our sprout, which is 218. But taking that out also makes it pick this. Maybe because it picked something else up here that tilted things? That was not where I expected that to kick in. I guess it's because it at every loop. Then we had 5250, which is the last one it picked. So we go through this loop. So is this updating? No, it's not updating old step depth. So that ends up putting in the adding an additional object. Why did that make it pick a different object? Okay, I guess this is still part of the same loop. Wait a minute, that had to be... Yeah, I always misread his brace style. No, there's the loop. Num results found. So why did doing that make us pick more objects? So we ended up picking fruiting milkweed. Oh, that's still depth. Oh, maybe I was missing that before. So we're picking the wrong object. Trans depth equals target depth, less than shallowest trans depth. So milkweed sprout is once again a thing you're going to have to build up to. It might actually be that one's a much larger, and then the milkweed stalk is the 2. Less than %D. That's kind of the wrong direction, isn't it? Trans depth less than shallowest trans depth. The milkweed sprout might actually be up there. I'm guessing this is to cut out loops of objects. Okay, so it got reset to, oh, yeah, milkweed sprout 17. Is the trans depth the thing that updates? Yeah, that's for this transition, right? Target depth. Unreachable, get depth actor. If target is greater than that, it's target depth. How are we resetting to 999999? Because I thought these were in the same loop. Shallowest trans depth equals trans depth. Oh, no, this is shallowest depth. Oops. It's a different variable that's shallow. Yeah, it's actually getting about time where I want to move on and get my step mini out of the way for lunch and stuff. Alright, milkweed sprout 2 less than 17, because this is a natural object, so it picks that. And it would then also fail because none of this is less than 0. I'm not sure why milkweed seeds are a 0. I guess because it can be picked up with bare hand. But then you couldn't consider any bare hand object. It doesn't seem to make sense. It's like you could pick up a hatchet with a bare hand, and that works. So, old step depth. Old step ID. Last step size. And there's the transitions from there. So this is whatever object we're work. Oh, because this is an advanced technology thing that can produce a natural object. So that's a problem, and but it only can pick one object out of here, and I actually want the deeper one. All right, well, maybe I'll have some time to noodle on that for tomorrow. For now, I think I'm just going to have to call it and move on to Stepmania, because we're already starting to get where it's going to be a little bit later when I'm done. So if you're here for coding, thanks for hanging out. I am going to be back in a little bit to do some Stepmania, but that's nothing like coding. So if you'd like to, you're welcome to hang out. If you don't want to, it's great. So I need to get off of here. Thanks to everybody for hosting. See, I'm not going to be setting up a host myself. I do have to get back and do the animation length of that. Actually, it's not too bad. It's slightly off. But in general, I'm coding in the mornings, and then switching over sometime around now, hopefully, to do Stepmania. If you want to be back for that, I'll see you in a minute or two after I change stream settings. Otherwise, bye, and then till next time.